Hello there. It's been a while. Life has been something. So I just wanted to hop on. I feel like I kind of need to make a video just for my own sake and also just to kind of get my creative flow back into place. A couple months ago, I was laid off from the job that I worked at for roughly about 4 years, replaced by AI, but whatever. Seems to be the story that you hear a lot with layoffs across the globe. But the main point of this video, as you know, is to kind of reflect on my art goals for 2025 and to see if I hit any of those art goals. So I'm gonna watch my video from last year that I posted regarding the art goals that I had in 2025 and sort of react to them and also make sure that I'm kind of answering or, just kind of talking about, did I hit that goal? Did I not hit that goal? Did I fail it? Whatever it might be. And then what I could do differently. And I might sneak in some 2026 art goals. I haven't really thought too much about it. I'm really just recording this video on a whim. So let's go. Let's take a look.
So let's get to it. All right, so the first and pretty much the obvious one, if you watched my video before, I've been getting private classes from Scott Hanna. He is a Marvel/DC comic book artist for many, many years. I think he said like 30 or 40 years, pretty much almost as long as I've been alive. But he lives relatively close to where I reside, and I've been getting classes inside his home. It's been pretty surreal getting those classes, but I thought I knew a decent amount of stuff with drawing or comic book art.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. So that goal was definitely completed for 2025. I actually started taking the private lessons with Scott Hanna. I think it was like a month before Thanksgiving of 2024. And it went for about 6 months. So the classes ended sometime in March of 2025. I think it was like the end of March. It was like right towards the end of winter. And it was really great. It was an experience nonetheless. Yes, pretty surreal, as I think I just mentioned in the video. The fact that, I'm kind of getting lessons and feedback and what have you from somebody that has been in the industry for as long as I've been alive. And as of this recording, I am now 40 years old. So it's kind of crazy to think that, I was, just sitting next to somebody who has that much tenure, who has that much experience, and kind of pass that knowledge on to me. Now, some things that I learned were fairly basic and things that I learned in college, but there was a lot of stuff that I definitely learned that I felt like I should have learned at college, but I definitely didn't. So I kind of owe a lot to Scott. If you're watching, thank you so much. But Scott definitely helped open up my brain a little bit, or as he said, kind of like get the gears turning in my brain to kind of think outside the box when it comes to like composition and framing and toning, or just throwing shadows and think about lighting and all that stuff. All things that you should be thinking about, when you're an artist, whether you're in manga or, comic books or just realism or something of the sort. But I think it's just a different way of kind of taking someone's style, and he's kind of tweaked his teachings to say, okay, this is somebody's style, but now I want to work with this person's style and have them think a little bit differently. So yeah, that goal was completed, and that's goal number one.
You want to be able to understand where they're coming from and see what they see and how you can improve upon that. All right, so this one is I would say a personal goal of mine, just in general, but also I do want to make it pretty much at the forefront for my art goals of 2025. This has to do with world building. So one of the strengths that Scott actually had mentioned to me is that I am pretty good at building worlds and whatnot. Now, that's something that I wasn't really good at.
Okay, so I'm going to stop that right there. The personal goal of mine for world building, I kind of think that I succeeded at that goal, especially when I look at all my artwork that I've done in 2025, specifically because I'm one person that, I love comic books. I read comic books. I've been doing it for years. And it always annoys me when I see people draw something where it's just like a face or a headshot or a body shot or whatever it is, right? But there's no background. And one of the things that, especially before I wanted to make this art goal, I was just already focusing on that because I think it just gives the environment or the character even more detail when you're creating a character or the background behind them. And it just kind of sets the scene up. And, as I mentioned, like Scott definitely told me that he could already see that that's like a strength of mine because I have the intention of wanting to do that. And this year, I feel like I definitely succeeded. And, I'm looking at this Harry Potter, picture that I'm doing from Order of the Phoenix. And, I have the intention of like setting up the scene. What do I want to draw? But I also want to draw the things that probably will annoy the crap out of people to draw. But I like doing it because it just creates more character. It creates more of a uniqueness to your piece rather than just drawing a face and a body. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just my personal take is to try to do a little bit more than that. So I definitely succeeded in that. But I kind of feel like I've already been doing that, a year or two in the making as I've just been trying to level up my artwork. So definitely another goal I succeeded at doing, and on to the next one.
It would be really good to focus on that. That is my own personal goal overall. But 2025, I definitely want to get in the habit of trying to do a little bit more than just 1 point perspective for sure. All right, so next up as a goal for mine, and I think this is a pretty important one, I want to be able to attend more comic conventions and bring my portfolio for feedback. The reason I think this is pretty important is because when I started taking those classes with Scott and understanding the type of feedback that I was getting, I thought, okay, I'm getting a more personalized one-to-one course with this person, and it's been really great so far. But what could I do if I go to like a public convention, like a Comic-Con or something like that? Bring my portfolio. It's nothing unheard of.
Okay, so this art goal was to attend more comic conventions and get more feedback and all that. It's kind of strange that like I'm also looking back at this and I'm relating a lot of my goals towards my experience with Scott. I don't want to say strange, I take that back, but I think it's just pretty unique that I met one person and I started to take lessons with them, and in a way it kind of set the goals or the thinking in motion that I kind of never realized would happen. I'm talking about Scott again and kind of talking about that experience, and it's segueing into what I want to accomplish for the year. And when I finished my lessons with Scott, again, this was sometime in end of March, I ended up attending Lehigh Valley Comic-Con, which is local to me in Pennsylvania here. It's relatively big. It's once a year they do a really big show, and then they have smaller shows throughout the year, about 2. But this time I wanted to kind of just say, F it, let me take my portfolio and just kind of ask around to the artists that are there and see what they say. And I did that. It was the first time I've ever done something like that. And I showed my artwork to 3 artists. I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but they are very much older than me and they've been in the industry for quite some time. But the feedback I got was great. They obviously said I have talent. You're someone who can draw, but they wanted me to think about anatomy and lighting and all these other things, which is understandable. But at the same time, when they would say stuff like that, they kind of saw, where my inspirations were coming from, such as Joe Matt or Humberto Ramos or Greg Capullo. So once they understood like where my inspirations came from, they kind of had an understanding of where my mind is when it comes to drawing in general and where I want to take myself for my artwork. So it was like a combination of, here's your feedback, who are your inspirations, but at the same time, oh, we get it now, and okay, cool, yeah, you're on the right track, just keep going, but keep asking for feedback, especially these little things like, line work or just, trying to pay attention to little mistakes that I make. And, I know I'm always going to still probably make those mistakes, but at the same time, I know I'm more mindful of them because of the feedback that I've received. So that comic convention was in April, and then I went to an open house at the Joe Kubert School of Art, which again is a quick hop, skip, and a jump drive from where I live. And I just went there, took a tour of the building because it wasn't a new place. And 20 years ago, I was thinking about going there when I graduated high school, but unfortunately, just money and such kind of, unfortunately didn't make it that way, but at least I was able to go to kind of go through this open house and talk to the staff and get some feedback, and it was really good. The feedback I got was, I would say, I don't want to say better, but I will say the feedback felt more positive than what my experience was in April. Not to say the feedback I got in April at Lehigh Valley Comic Con was not positive, but I could tell like there was some sense of improvement between April and then I went to this convention, or I'm sorry, I went to this open house at the Joe Kubert School of Art right around Halloween, which is not that long ago. I'm recording this on January 1st, and I was there 2 months ago. So there's definitely a sense of improvement. I can get the sense from, what was the feedback that I was getting, but the feedback was still there. Things to think about, things to work on, and things to look out for. And I might be taking a course, online at Joe Kubert School of Art, which is pretty cool. I might try to do that sometime in the next couple weeks, actually. So we will see. There definitely was some other times as well that I got feedback, whether it was from friends that I've made, which I'll probably talk about in the next goal. And then just some other folks, on Reddit or something like that. I kind of took the opportunity to post some of my artwork on some Reddit threads, such as Stranger Things or Halo or something like that. If I made a piece relative to that Reddit thread, I went ahead and posted it just to kind of see what people would say, see what people would think about, or give me feedback, whether they're artists or not. And again, I think it's nice to get myself out of that shell and kind of put myself out there a little bit more and get feedback. And yeah, not all feedback's going to be great. Somebody's going to look at it and think your artwork sucks, but that's to be expected. But I think all in all, the whole point of this goal was to just get myself out there and talk to somebody who has the experience. I already started doing that with Scott because that was a big step up for me, to get those private lessons, to show my artwork to somebody who's in the industry professionally for 40 years. But at the same time, it was a way for me to kind of broaden the horizons and get out there a little bit more, for sure. So this goal definitely made it. And yeah, awesome. Let's go to the next one.
If I could go to those conventions, I'm not really sure. Money, plays a factor into it, but definitely that's something I would like to try at least once or twice. All right, so this one, I would say it's pretty obvious, but I want to be able to post more videos here on YouTube and also live stream. So I figured out how to live stream on YouTube not too long ago. It's quite confusing, very different from Twitch.
So I'm going to stop at that part right there. I'm laughing because this is a goal that I would say I failed, but I didn't fail. But I failed, but I didn't fail. Does that make any sense? Probably doesn't. So, the reason why I say I failed it is because I didn't stick to posted videos or anything like that. The intent of my channel was to, and I hope that I could still make this intent for my channel, which I think I could, but the intent of the channel was to talk about the things that I love, and you could see it in my Dragon Ball collaboration video, the Sonic the Hedgehog video, and I think that's about it. But it was for me to take the time and draw an art piece, or let's say I watched some type of medium, such as a TV or movie, and I am essentially talking about what I love about it, but also at the same time you're seeing like a time lapse of me drawing it, or playing a video game or something of the sort, right? You see what I'm saying? Or getting at is, I take something that I really like and I draw it, but I'm also talking about why I like it, why I might dislike it, but also, kind of go from there. I had the intent and I did not stick to that landing with posting videos on a scheduled, format, so to speak. But I did take the time to try to make some videos, albeit very scarce. Obviously, this video is the first video in quite some time, but the live streaming, I think I stuck to that landing just because I did take the time, especially early on, probably around spring of 2025 into summer. I was streaming on my YouTube channel, but sometime around this, I think this art goal video, when did I post this? Probably early. Yeah, I posted this video January 1st, 2025. The thing about this is I didn't know that this would happen, but about a month later, sometime in February, I met a group of artists that have a live show every Tuesday and Thursday. Now, first, I noticed them doing it on Instagram, a live show every Tuesday and Thursday, and I had talked to them. And I had met them through online, mind you. I had met them through an artist, his name's Jesse, Based World, and he had like a little chat channel on Instagram for a bunch of artists to kind of collaborate and share their artwork or what have you. And that segued into me finding the Odd Contenders, which is comprised of Hector, Noel, Alejandro, Sanchez, Alexis, and a few others. And, I didn't know this, but about a month after this video, I would meet probably what I would say are lifelong friends. And I started to get to draw with them every Tuesday and Thursday, kind of invited me to jump on the show, and grew some friendships. And I can talk about another goal later, but definitely met one of those guys in real life who lives relatively close to me, which is pretty cool. And I want to take the moment to say that there's this saying that when you meet people, I have personal friends, of course, and my personal friends are into the same things that I'm into, but I guess you could say like there's a level of not understanding one another and don't know how to explain it. Like, we're into video games, we're into sci-fi, some of us are into anime, but I think when you meet people who are almost identical to you when it comes to like the artistic side of your brain, the creative side of your brain, and the things that you love and enjoy, it kind of, I don't want to say it levels up or evolves your friendship from what you knew. I'm yapping right now, but I hope you can kind of get a sense of what I'm trying to say here. Is meeting these guys was definitely something I think I needed in my life at the time that it came to me, only because I've never had friendships like that. My personal friends nowadays consist of sending memes back and forth, being in a group chat, which is great, keeping the communication, that flow going. But these folks that I met online, and we get to draw 2 days, sometimes 3 days a week with one another, and have our own group chat and our own little inside jokes and things like that. I don't know. It just creates a different sense of a friendship, especially when they're so much like you, and you can kind of like resonate, and you're running on the same, the same street, and they kind of get you, and I get them, and it's a very different dynamic than the people that I actually grew up with. So I'm yapping, I'm going on a tangent, but my point is that I didn't land on the posting scheduled videos, which is quite tough, mind you, but I still have the intention. But the second piece is the streaming, the live streaming. I did do that, not as much as I'd like to, but it kind of transferred over to me becoming a part of the Odd Contenders every Tuesday and Thursday. And I'm so appreciative of being able to join that and have these guys, invite me in. So if you guys are watching, thank you, because I don't think you realize like how much that meant to me when I really needed it. Because I will say, I have a partner in crime, and I would complain a lot about my own personal friends and where things were at. And, I kind of was wishing before this that I would kind of meet people that were a lot like me somehow, some way, and lo and behold, it fell at my doorstep, and the rest is history. So again, thank you guys. So on to the next goal.
Creativity as well. All right, so this one is actually one that I'm starting today/tomorrow. So back in June of 2024, I was a guest on my college friend actually. His name is G. I was on his podcast back in June of 2024. And I positioned about doing a Dragon Ball Z.
That's right. So it's kind of weird. I did start the Dragon Ball Z collaboration, and I finished it, I think, within a couple days of me recording this video. And then I sent it out to Phil. Originally, I will say that we were supposed to start off with sending this, if I'm not mistaken. We were supposed to send the Dragon Ball Z collaboration project between myself and Phil and G. It was supposed to get sent to G first, but he had some events happen, that are personal to him. He was able to bounce back from it, but we had to pivot. So I had to finish my part, send it over to Phil. Phil did his part, sent it back to me. I did another part, sent it over to G. And all in all, it took about 7 or 8 months to complete, but I am really proud of that project. I'm super happy with the results. I mean, honestly, it just kind of goes to show like the collaboration between artistic friends and stuff. These are guys that I personally have known. One from college, one from the fighting game community, tournaments and such like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and all that jazz back in the day. But it's really cool just to be able to collaborate with friends, create an art piece. It was pretty big. It's 20 by 24. I am still working on recording or thinking about how to redo my recording or reaction to part 3, because when I recorded the final product, I did not have my microphone on. So I kind of just tucked it aside. I kept the video, and I'm thinking of what can I do to show it, because I haven't shown it off at all. But yeah, so I will say this art goal was completed. It was a lot of fun. I'm very proud of it. I am super grateful of Phil and G's participation. Honestly, you guys, if you're watching, like, thank you so much, because obviously that show, the anime, the manga, it means a lot to me. Okay, so the video's done. I think I hit every single goal and a little bit more, which is great. I feel like I've done more drawing than hitting those goals, but when I look back and I think about where my life has been in the last year, it's been pretty crazy, hitting those goals and more. And I say more because I attended my first comic convention. If you watched my video before, back in August, I attended Liberty Comic Con, sold some art pieces, and did a few commissions, and it was a lot of fun. And the other part of that goal was, I mentioned about, coming in with the odd contenders and drawing with these guys every Tuesday and Thursday. And I met Alejandro, because he lives within an hour from me. All these guys are from across the states, and ironically, one of them lives really close to me, and now we became, buddies. And like I mentioned, you put yourself on a different plateau when you meet people who are just like you, and you can resonate with and talk to about the same exact things between your creative lifestyle, the things that you're interested in, and just your life in general. And no disrespect to my personal friends, but yeah, I mean, the guys that I made friends with definitely warmed up my own personal friends. And again, I'm so appreciative of that, especially Alejandro, meeting him in person, and him just kind of like being a big brother, even though I think I'm older than you. But yeah, him being a big brother in a sense of trying to like amp me up and give feedback and push me a little bit harder or more. And honestly, I couldn't have done that without his support and attending Liberty Comic Con. So Alejandro, thank you so much, man. Again, like I said, you guys came to me at a time that I was almost begging for it mentally and verbally to people that I surrounded myself with. So again, thank you guys. Okay, so that does it for all the art goals of 2025. I was actually able to accomplish all of them, to my surprise, but also I was able to, make new friends who kind of have the same alignment as I do, and, also just be able to do a little bit more, such as attending the conventions and looking forward to attending more conventions. So I'm going to keep this short for my goals of 2026, and I've only chosen 3. So the first one is I want to be able to get in more of a rhythm of posting videos on YouTube here. I know that I may not have done long form videos on a schedule, but that is something I'm looking into. Just for the sole fact of one thing I did learn in 2025 was it takes a lot of work to edit your own videos, but also drawing your art piece, and then you're kind of telling a story in a way. So you have to kind of keep things a little bit scripted or have a tempo of how you want your videos to flow. But I feel like I have it kind of more figured out than I did last year or the last year and a half. And knowing how video effects and videography or editing is kind of like my bread and butter, that I shouldn't have a problem doing that anymore. Or I should say be a little bit more petrified about doing it. But I don't necessarily think it's going to be on a weekly schedule, because life right now, I'm still looking for a job after getting laid off two months ago. But I do want to try to at least
keep a rhythm of maybe 2 videos a month. So we'll see if I'll be able to do that, or at least 1 video a month, but again, gonna try to see what can work out. The second one is attending more conventions than Liberty Comic Con. As I mentioned, Liberty Comic Con was only one convention that I attended, and that was not in my foresight for my goals in 2025. But seeing how comfortable I was and that I was able to accomplish it with the support of people behind me, I feel like I have the ability to kind of do like maybe 1 or 2 other conventions that might be local to me. So Lehigh Valley Comic Con is happening in June. It's a 2-day event. It's the 25th anniversary, so they are looking at it to be a lot bigger than normal, which it's kind of weird because it was already kind of big in my area in a sense, especially for people who live in this area. But definitely I'm hoping to attend that. I still have to get my table, so I'm looking towards getting into that convention, Liberty Comic Con again, and then maybe 1 more depending, as long as it's close by and funds and all that are there. The third one, now this is a big one, this is definitely a challenge, but the third one I want to try to do is maybe make like an actual comic book. So one thing I've been doing that, again, I didn't see in my foresight was I've been writing. So I've been writing 2 stories. One, I pretty much have the gist of the lore, the characters, and some beats as far as like I would say get to 3 issues. And then the second story, I would say I have like more of a draft and outline of what I want that story to be. So that is something now that I have the skills that I acquired from Scott, and you know, I'm still practicing templates, or you know, with templates I've created, you know, and layouts and interiors and comics, and just kind of practicing my doodling. And I feel like I kind of need to take that step into a more confidence realm of just trying it, even if it's doesn't necessarily need to be 20 some pages like a normal comic book issue, but maybe I can make it like 10 or 12 pages for 1 issue. But I definitely want to try to do that for 2026 and see how it turns out. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's been looking at my goals for 2025. I'm glad I hit them, and honestly, I'm looking forward to 2026 and kind of getting things back on track, since life kind of had a pivot for me the past 2 or 3 months. So thanks again, guys, for watching, and look for more videos in the future. See ya.